Yeah, good morning. You're welcome to Friday morning, 3rd May 2024, to Bystanders at Newsstand. My name is Kolade Folari, the Dash Prince. Yes, we're here live in the commercial capital of Nigeria, Lagos, especially here in Ogba. It's been drizzling, and we say we apologize for starting rather late. The rain has been heavy and it's still raining seriously. So we decided to come to this shed around here. We're still in Ogba here, coming to you live from the stable of Flip TV and Flip TV Plus. Yes, this morning, today is World Press Freedom Day. I want to use this opportunity to greet all journalists from across the world. Yes, we're a voice to the voiceless. And I want to admonish all of us not to relent in all our efforts in making sure that every government, everybody is accountable and we pass accurate information to people who need them all the time. Yes, thank you very much. I have all our newspapers here this morning. The first newspaper I'm going to be starting with this morning is the Salient Times newspaper. The major headlines here says 48 AK-47 rifles recovered as police arrest mastermind of Abuja Kaduna train attack. That's in the Salient Times newspaper this morning. Nigeria spends 8 billion annually on importation of steel. That's according to the Minister of Steel. 48 million Nigerians still practice open defecation. That's another minister saying that. I'll quickly go to the Nigerian News Direct, and the major headlines there says NDIC increases deposit insurance coverage for financial institution. New review ensures safety of depositors' funds. That's according to the managing director of NDIC. It warns depositors against patronizing unregistered operators. That's the major news headlines in the Nigerian News Direct this morning. I'll go to the Platform Times. The headline is quite different. It says, Ogun monarch flees as angry residents dump unconscious man in palace. Oba's aides strike residents with charm. Rush to Benin Republic. Suspects arrested over threat to Kabiesi's life. That's according to the Nigerian Police Force. Repentant Boko Haram terrorists chase away operatives, set ablaze NDLEA customs checkpoint in Borno. That's in the Platform Times newspaper this morning. Police arrest alleged mastermind of Abuja Kaduna train attack. Yeah, that will be all for the Platform Times this morning. I'll go to the Blueprint newspaper. Shetima at Second Chronicle Roundtable. With reforms, Tinubu saved Nigeria from imminent death. That's according to Shetima at Second Chronicle Roundtable. Assures economy will witness positive changes after sacrifices. President should sack non-performing ministers. Ex-minister Shamsuddin says. Troops kill 715 terrorists, rescue 465 kidnapped victims. That's in the Blueprint newspaper this morning. I'll go to the Vanguard newspapers. Minimum wage, governors working on what is payable. That's the Nigerian Governors Forum saying that. Petrol scarcity, long queues linger despite federal government's assurances. That's in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. Resident doctors protest shortage of manpower. Others in Kogi. That's also in the Vanguard newspaper this morning. I'll go to the Punch newspapers, which says fuel supply. 9,000 marketers may lose licenses. 9,000 marketers may lose licenses. Ipman begs NMDPRA, NNPC not to delist operators from sales portal to avert fuel crisis. Queues persist as more filling stations open for sale. Pump prices drops marginally. Police stumble on drug den after Lagos market fracas. London sword attack. Federal government condemns Nigerian British boys murder. That's in the Punch newspaper today. Governors demand 615,000 naira pay. Governors demand sustainable minimum wage. Government borrows 11 trillion via bonds, T-bills in 4 months. EFCC to move against schools charging dollars. I'll go to the Daily Trust this morning, and the major headline in the Daily Trust newspaper says, Repentant Boko Haram members invade police station in Borno. We won't blame Buhari for our challenges. That's Shetima saying. Bandits kill 17, abduct 5 in Kaduna, Sokoto communities. May 15 slated for inaugural fight as 65,000 Nigerians pay for Hajj. That's the major headlines in the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. We've gone through the Vanguard. Yes, the Guardian newspaper. How dodgy officiating complicit club officials, supporters ruin games. That's in the Guardian newspaper. I'll look at some sub-headlines in the Guardian newspaper this morning. 2 army officers face court-martial over bombing of 100 in Kaduna. 2 army officers face court-martial over bombing of 100 in Kaduna. World Press Freedom Day. NAS seek release of detained journalists. Labour defends 615,000 wage proposal as states review fiscal capacity. Petrol scarcity, long queues, dry pumps remain despite federal government assurances. NGE tasks National Assembly on better deal for journalists. That will be all for the major headlines in the Nigerian newspaper this morning. So I'd like my first reviewer of the day to please come around. Maziraf, you're welcome, sir.
Welcome, good morning.
Yes. Today is World Press Freedom Day.
Press Freedom Day.
One word, what can you say? Do Nigerians have Nigerian press? Do they have freedom of information?
No.
Are the press free?
No. We are not free here. Ranging from the era of military adventure in Nigeria, the press, the journalists, over the years, we are killed in their large number. We don't have freedom of speech, and even when you are writing your narratives, if you don't take precaution, your head will go in with it. May I cite an example here? Do you know what happened in 1986 about Delegiwa discovering Gloria Ocon in London? Delegiwa was the chief editor of Newswatch magazine after seeing Gloria Ocon in London as one of the drug dealers then that was, trading with doing drug business with the former first lady. That's Mariam Babangida. And 2 of them were involved in that business. So after all said and done, they rumored that Gloria Ocon is dead so that she could not testify to whom her accomplices are. Yeah. So due to the fact that he was discovered in London by this chief editor of news magazine, Newswatch, said then, you know what? Mr. President sent for him, the editor himself, Delegiwa, letter bomb. That was in 1986. See, letter bomb was delivered to him by Hakilo, Boba Marwa, and the rest of them. And this chief editor, on receiving that letter bomb, what happened? As he was about opening it, it triggered off. It triggered off, and Delegiwa today died. And everybody knew that it was Nigerian government that killed Delegiwa.
Because all of the us. Vital information
he has. He discovered in London that the so-called person, the dead person, is still alive. He went to her. She went to her. Gloria Ocon said, "Oh my God, blah 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 blah." Immediately, Babangida heard about it. He called this man, confided in him not to open up. But being press, what press is, they don't hide information. I don't understand. They don't have news like that. And it was a very vital news then to understand that the so-called dead Gloria Ocon was, living in London. I don't know what I understand. Yeah. From there today, Delegiwa was killed, sent to his earlier grave in 1986. And today, nobody did everything about it. Oga, freedom of speech. Are you telling me World Press Day? When during the former USSR, under the regime of Mikhail Gorbachev and Boris Yeltsin, 2 of them, most of the USSR critics, all of them were being killed. Some were shot in the bedroom from the back in their sitting rooms because of what operation of the KGB, House of Kremlin. If they say anything about communist regime, they will send after them. The press in Russia, think about the current critics of Putin, Vladimir. I think that man must be a pressman. I don't know what I understand. He was shot, though he was spending time in jail for over how many? Navalny was his name for many years. So he died. See, the way journalists are dying all over the world, I don't think they respect today as a president. The respect, I don't think is showing at all. In Nigeria here, you don't say anything and go scot-free. Buhari hunted on the press, and he hunted them down. He didn't give press conference easily to journalists, to the press. They don't give listening ear or allow them, this interview of a thing. So they are not publicly accountable to the press to know what to say about the present day government. I didn't understand. No freedom of speech, no freedom of press in Nigeria with many instances. I don't really understand what I'm saying. The press, the police are shooting the press. I mean the journalists. The police are shooting them. The soldiers themselves are bent on killing journalists. I don't really understand. I don't see anything free about press day. No.
No. Yes, there's freedom of expression as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution in Section 39(1), subsection 1. So that means if the press are being gagged, the association of press journalist associations and all that, what are they supposed to do in this situation?
They are trying their best. The press, the Journalist Association of Nigeria, they are trying their best. They are together each and every time there's an important event or prevailing situation, like political impasse or crisis, like what happened in 2020. You see how the press, they cooperated before this man was incarcerated. No, earlier this man was incarcerated. I mean, Omo Eleshowore. The press was up and hand, doing what they could to make sure that they did not at least kill that young man. When they went to court, he was attacked in the court by the DSS. Press, we were writing and we were shouting. I was one of the person that was shouting and ranting, saying that this is just like an assassination of the justice himself right in the courtroom. Because the way and the manner DSS handled their show already that day, manhandling and bullying him in the presence of the so-called judges. Is it right? DSS, what do they epitomize in the society or in a democratic society? Are they not just security agency to protect the citizens? But you see what happened that day in the court? They bullied Omo Eleshowore, they beat him, they almost strangulated him in the court of justice, court of law. I don't know what I understand. Law court, such things should not be allowed to be happening there. So what I'm trying to say is that Buhari bullied the press. He bullied them and bullied them into silencing them, not to be writing what is going on in the northeast, all about insecurity by Boko Haram insurgents and Fulani herdsmen, terrorists as well. Buhari almost silenced all of them. Press was not doing enough job. And as I'm talking to you now, the press in Nigeria is not free. If it is free in Lagos, Scholar is not free in Igbo land. Ask me why. I'm giving many examples. There's war going on in Biafra land. They are killing Igbos on daily basis, shooting the youths at Omoma community, Olo, where Hope Uzodinma hails from. Nobody is writing all these things that are happening in Imo State. See, the other day, they were abusing, bombing ESN, that were running, chasing after those kids, herdsmen that went to Niboni, Senugo, and killed people there. ESN went out there into the bush, into those bush where the farmland were cultivated, running after these herdsmen, armed herdsmen. They were exchanging fire. Nigerian police, they used helicopter, Nigerian soldier bombing those ESN. Imagine, people were coming in shouting, war going on in Igbo land, and the press, Nigerian journalists, the press is not covering it. Nothing is being covered in Igbo land. I'm telling you the truth. They only cover their political meetings, their political workshops, whatever. Anytime they have rally, APC go to rally, or PDP or Labour, that is when journalists or the press will just carry it. But they are not telling us about the insecurity going on in Igbo land. Soldier and the community members and the youths and the elders. Sometimes soldier will go to Igbo market, Eke Ototo, Sumogu, and set the whole market ablaze. It is there now. Go there and see the ruin of the dilapidated facilities over there where the Igbo Igbo communities are selling their businesses. They're doing their businesses. They set it ablaze, killing youths, shooting everybody, shooting mama and papa. Sometimes they do wele farmers, old men that were farming in the farmland. Last year, shooting those men, giving them all manner of corporal punishments in the bush there. I'm telling you, they are not doing any work to cover what is happening in Igbo land. Igbo land is a different country. That's why we've been hammering on this peaceful agitation of Biafra. I'm telling you, press is not doing enough to cover what is happening in the southeastern Nigeria. If you have your phone, follow your social media. Because I will know what I'm saying. Okay. Lots and lots of things are happening in Igbo land, and we are not being told.
Now, generally,
we're not getting any information from the press.
If we look at it generally, you mentioned something about the time of Buhari, that the press was guarded. What of this Tinubu era?
This Tinubu era, it's getting to worse. Because I'm expected that I would have known, the whole Nigeria would have known whom their chief of army staff is. It is the press that will make this known to the entire public. Publicity. That's the meaning of publicity, making public. But they are mumming, keeping mum on some issues happening around Nigeria. I mean the press. Okay. They are not doing enough. Do you imagine that after we read and hear what our Igbo brothers are singing and saying on social media, we expect that anytime we come early morning, we see it on the front pages of newspaper. But on getting to the paper stands, none are captioned. They don't write it. I'm telling you, I'm an Igbo man, my oga. They are not telling us what is happening in Igbo land. We were shocked that federal government has even warned the press to stay clear from all the operations of 82 Mechanized Division Enugu. What that is happening in that barracks, they are not showing it. They are not telling us. Killings of the police in the southeastern Nigeria, the police shooting and shooting innocent youth in Anambra State, Inuli. That kid that was shot, bullet caught that 8-month-old boy at Uli into two. It was only on social media. It wasn't on the paper. Yes, last year I went through the whole papers. It was not there. So there are limitations. They limit press operation. I'm telling you, in Nigeria, the way the press operates in Nigeria is limited. Federal government has actually curbed freedom of press in Nigeria. They curbed it, they checkmate it, that there are levels at which they will operate. There are levels they cannot.
But don't you think this present government is media friendly, considering the fact that even our president runs media houses?
He runs media houses, but there are things, if you say, they will threaten you. Why am I saying this? Yesterday, Obi was threatened to go to jail. Threatened. They threatened that
Who threatened him?
Federal government now. Kayamus, number one, starting from the election. During the immediately after president election of last year, Kayamos was threatening to arrest Obi.
Kayamo,
but he was not given the post.
Kayamo does not have the power to arrest
now,
Obi.
This is your press writing. This one now, not the social media. It is the so-called press writing. It's on the front page of the newspaper. Kayamo was threatening that Obi and Dati committed treasonable felony. For Dati to have said, I will never address Tinubu as my president. He wrote it there, not on social media. The next day, Kayamo replied, treasonable felony. The one Obi said, the next day, Kayamo replied. Before they went to court, Kayamo started threatening taking Obi to court. Now, Obi has spoken recently on the coastal line or highway from Lagos, Ekwe, to Cross River State. Do you know what they said? They replied him that they are going to arrest Obi for saying the speech, truth, making that speech that over $200 million worth of property is going down. Are you listening to me? Now, they are following him, attacking him, verbal attack, even on the paper that they threatened to arrest Obi. I saw it this morning, I saw it on social media, and the most concerned Nigerian youth, citizens, are putting fire. We are fueling it up. We are begging federal government, please arrest Obi, let us see you. I have heard some youth shouting this morning, please go and arrest him so that all will be well with Nigeria. Go and arrest him so that we take that as an excuse and tell you that your populations of your soldiers and the police, immigration and customs and other paramilitary and military forces in Nigeria are not up to 20 million. And we are more than 230 million. I mean, able-bodied youths in Nigeria. So we are going to tackle them.
Yes, it's nice having you on the program this morning. Yes, Mr. Kule, you're welcome to bystanders at the newsstand. We are sorry we had to come under this shed because of the rain.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
Yeah,
even enjoying it. I like it. I like it more. A wet day, man. A wet, what's it called? A
it's a
wet
wet
Friday.
day,
Wet
wet Friday.
Friday. Thank God for life, and we really appreciate what Flip is doing there.
Okay, now, do you think this government has done enough in giving press freedom?
Well, happy press, free press day, free press, freedom day, right?
Press
World,
freedom day.
World Press Freedom Days, and I really facilitate with the press. And I can say generally, the government has done so well about giving the press freedom. Why I'm saying this was a leader we have that left his comfort place to come and try to fix up the country we have now, went through that pressure. Because I remember when there was one of the Nadeco, I think I can say is the master planners of Nadeco movement then. And we knew what he faced under Abacha regime then. So there was no freedom of press. There was guerrilla, press then, that you have to move all around these nations, especially in the West here, where the whole thing was so loud. These journalists you're saying today, we need to give them kudos. The Alake of this world, the Adenuga, is it Adenuga or Kunuga, the press secretary to the, what's it called? One of the press secretary to the president now. Let's give them that kudos that they brought sanitations, so they brought sanitation into the press world, and it's worth celebrating. Because I could remember then, none of them can stay in their office to even publish any, to make any publications. They have to go on the ground. They go into bushes in all this, all this local terrain. They go into the interior part of the, of the states, just to go and publish there. But for now, we're having a freedom to even, I could hear somebody saying, yeah, not too long, that, the somebody should not be arrested, that they arrested them, but you dare not try that under the military. You dare not. And at the same time, nobody's above arrest. Nobody's above arrest.
Now, it is alleged that, okay, you've said something about the daily lackey.
Alake, yes, of this world.
They are now with the government.
Yeah.
And you remember the case of the first news editor that was abducted, that was arrested.
Military, yeah, by the military, by the DMI.
When people like Dele Alake, who are journalists or who still practice journalism, maybe on the ground, were suffering.
Yeah.
They knew what they were going through. Why would they now allow this same government to abduct their colleague?
Yeah, they did not. It's not like they just left him over. They just left him to face his warrant there. They really rallied around him. I could see some journalists that always cry out loud that free this guy, free this guy, free this guy every time. They really rallied around him, Mr. Kadesh, because I was monitoring the guy case, and it was the DMI, it was the military intelligence that arrested him because he made a publication about, I think, what's it called, the chief of staff to the president. And I don't know how the military came to be. Maybe his publication has to relate with the military likewise. But to me, the likes of what's it called, the erudites, what's it called? I know the pressmen, they came around and rounded. Just to give him solidarity for the military, and it was always in all the newspapers that free our home that is incarcerated by the military, and they ended up releasing him. But the guy now is trying to sue the military as it is now. So I think we should learn how to be lenient with the journalists, because they are doing a lot, and I will not be in support of gagging of journalists, because I've witnessed that in the 1993 under Abacha regime. because we knew a lot of journalists that were killed, that were murdered. So that era has gone. We would not like that situation to repeat itself again. That's my stake on that. The other guy there.
Yes, we've heard severally that this Tinubu's government is ready to support the media, and they are not in any way ready to gag the media. Freedom of information, freedom of speech, freedom of association, and everything. But there are still some issues. And what are these issues? We do not take the fact that social media has been able to expand journalism. Social media has been able to make information on the go. But it seems today's government is not totally comfortable with that.
Yeah, really. You could be maybe right then, and at the same time, I can still bring out some issues that has been happening on social media. The social media has turned to a platform where propaganda news has been spread, where blackmailing news has been spread. You could see what happened under during the election time. We could see what some elements of party that belongs to one party they did then, abusing. There was nobody in this Nigeria that is who. That was not even partisan that did not abused. So such thing, we shouldn't encourage it on social media. And I can say categorically, there was a lot of damages on social media than the goods we are witnessing. I can tell you categorically. And it's really happening here. Like the platform we have now, with the opportunity they have on the social media. You heard some people bullying on people like you and the flick generally came to be that stop bullying. We will not tolerate bullying there. And that's it, because you can't just bully somebody naturally on a normal, normal, say, TV, normal, you can't do that. But the people hide under the social media to commit crime, to be abusive, and to be that is what I just want to go against on social media. And if they can find a way to regulate it, which the government has said that there's a way they will look into it to regulate the social media, so that all information will be balanced. We will not be having a cyberbullying. And you could know that, you can remember that what is going on now is majority of the social media platform is like a cyberbullying. And we must put an end to cyberbullying. That's one thing I want to say. And to me, likewise, Mr. Obi is not above the law. Mr. Obi can be arrested because he has to. You've lost elections, and wait for the next. It's a time your own turn. 4 years time now, you will be justly to go for another election.
If you say such, that means you want to. He does not have freedom of expression.
He does, but the incitement.
So do you think
the case on his head now is incitement?
Do you think he doesn't have a right to look into the activities of the government of the day?
He has a right, but what he's saying now is inciting people, inciting the masses, inciting the youth that were his followers, and those ones now has been misled, man, and they are what? They are just carrying fake information all around, because the project that is going on from Lagos to Calabar is going to be a productive, project for Nigeria, because all the two states are coastal states. And what are we looking at?
No.
All the two states are coastal states.
On a quick note, a quick one. It was the Lagos-Abuja road that had been in the plan of the government before.
Yeah.
That they said people will get to Abuja in 4 hours.
4 hours, yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, they changed gear towards Lagos Calabar Coastal Highway Road. Why?
Why is Abuja has benefited a lot on infrastructural developments. And we need to remember Calabar likewise. We need to remember the coastal line. We need to remember the seaports in Calabar, that it has to be functioning. Not only Lagos ports. People have been clamoring. What's happened to on the port? What happened to Calabar port? And somebody is here to open up Calabar ports, so that there won't be just Lagos ports that is working, and they have been complaining that it's just a favorism for Lagos port alone to be working, why not them considering the other ports? You can ship so that you can ship your goods into Calabar port instead of going into already locked down, jam-packed Lagos port here. So I don't see anything wrong. It's only people that short of knowledge, that short of, they're putting in electoral politics into politics, what's it called, hatred into this platform. And I really like what Umai is saying. And Umai, I think, is my man of the month or man of the day for now.
Because you said something that I want to quickly take you back to. Do you know Umai almost talked down a journalist 2 days ago for talking to him? Arrogantly, he wanted to talk down a journalist.
Yeah, we know the journalism. The journalist. No. We know you. We know journalists. Let me just say.
Okay.
You may be excluded, but we know the journalists. What we are having now is envelope journalism. Envelope journalism.
What do you mean by envelope journalism?
What did I mean? Journalists always have their loyal people. There's some politicians they are loyal to. Can I tell you what? There was a TV stations that went on running down our president. During that, on that TV, I don't want to mention name, because if you want me to mention him, I can mention the name of the TV. And what happened? The man even went to the extent of duplicating materials of CD, started deforming the president, deforming everybody. And what happened? When the law took its effect on the man, they went to court, they went to appeal court, and they went to high court, they went to appeal court, they went to Supreme Court. The man was flushed down. And what happened? He ended up begging. And his counsel was, what's it called? The counsel was one son that went on begging the person they offended. And the person they offended was Ezekome. Ezekome went on begging the current president we have now. And they told them, just apologize in all the newspaper. So that's what I'm saying. There are some journalists that what they are alliance, their alliance is with the opposition party, and there's journalists that their alliance is with the current governments in power, man. So to me, you need to mind your speech, the way you speak with the government.
Let's just quickly look at this report from leadership.
Leadership
reports that EIA is the assessment of the environmental consequences of a plan, policy, program, or actual projects prior to the decision to move forward with the proposed action. At a media briefing by the Minister of Works, a television reporter, Laila Johnson Salami of Arise News Channel, had posed a question to Umahi about the EIA on the much talked about Lagos Highway project. But a drama ensued before she was able to ask the minister the question.
So the EIA is the guy's headache now, right?
The EIA is not the guy's headache. EIA is Nigeria's headache now.
Definitely.
But do you know there has to be environmental impact assessment on that road? And it was just done April 22. And they swung into action on the 1st of May.
Mr. Kadesh, either there's environmental importation on that road, what me I want is a good infrastructure on grants, so that we won't just be nagging on development that is coming. It's going to come, and everybody will be a beneficiary of it, especially our seaports.
Since you don't even believe in EIA,
I don't believe in it. It's a propaganda thing.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Chinedu. You're welcome to Bystanders at the newsstand. Today is World Press Freedom Day. Will you all want to say one or two things to fellow journalists from across the world?
Yes, it's quite a good day to celebrate the craft of writing, the craft of reportage, and also celebrate those who have been, who has contributed globally to the development of the society, and especially, the pen industry. They have done very well, and of course that's why they refer them as members of the fourth ring, estates. So, but they will still have a lot more to do in that regard, because
the way it stands now, the media need to really do very well, trying to, check excesses, of leadership across the world, and of course, particularly Nigeria, where it's been believed that, Nigeria situation today is underreported, and the media really need to step up in that direction. As it stands now, kudos to the Nigerian media personnel and industry, for a job well done.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's look at federal government and state government disagree over minimum wage. Because the state government is saying they cannot toe the line of whatever the labor is saying. But when the federal government makes their pronouncement, then they will now tell them what they can sustainably pay their workers.
Well, those stories are just unfortunate coming out from Labour, federal government, and all. We don't need those kind of disturbances now. Let them structure whatever they want to structure, because as it stands now, whether they are going to pay 600,000, that's their business. Whether they are going to pay 1 million, that's their business. I don't see anything having direct. Go outside the world. How much they pay monthly in a place like Canada or America? That each person, government worker, will be earning up to 600,000. Then what of those who are not employed? What are they going to do? And of course, this triple the inflation, have a reaction on the inflation aspect, and also create more economic uncertainty for Nigerians. These are not the things we need to be talking about, because let us just leave it to them, let them do whatever they want to do. But for me, I do not see any light. Whether they are federal government, state, are bargaining or debating how much they are going to pay. Of course, any action that they are going to take, will continue to destroy. In that direction, we continue to make this economy very, very unbearable. They should look at they should sit down and reactivate themselves. We need to grow our domestic production. That's the most important thing. It's not about 500,000 per month. 300. What of those who are not, who are not under government payroll? What are they going to do? What of those who cannot be able to meet up? How are they going to? Because definitely once that increase is being done, you can start buying a bag of rice for 150,000.
It affects everything.
You understand?
Like the usual Yoruba proverb that the market that the billionaire's wife goes is the same market the teacher's wife go. So when billionaire's wife can afford a bag of rice of 250, the teacher's wife cannot even afford a cup.
They will continue to mess up this country the more until it get to a point, a serious revolution will take place. That is just it. Yeah, that's my take on that. Thank you.
Yes, now looking at the federal government gave us assurances that this fuel scarcity will end by Wednesday. Today is Friday, and the situation is getting worse.
Of course, that is not the first time we are seeing this kind of a thing. We know that at the end of the day, they will find a way to, resolve it. I've seen a certain report blaming the issue of fuel scarcity strictly on the NMPC, and some other factors. But that's not the issue. I believe that the government will know what to do at the end of the day, so that we'll have more fuel, for our economy. Of course, yes, for the government to run on their own, on the way they believe that the economy should go. They have everything. They have what it takes, to, do anything they like. But for me, they say NPC is the problem. Whatever is the problem, that's their business. Because as it stands now, Nigerians are carrying the burden of uncertainty, and until we see, what whatever that will happen, well, in God's glory be that.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chinedu. It's nice having you on Bystanders at the New Star. Yes, thank you very much to our reviewers that were able to talk to today. A lot of our reviewers, when this rain started, had to move around looking for cover one way or the other. And since we started here, we've not been able to see some of them come around. I also want to thank our viewers from across the globe. We thank Biafra, that's his name here. He talks about market burning by soldiers. Amici Nwachukwu, Taiwo, Dr. Taiwo Odunlade, uh, and a host of others. Udeze Chima, we thank you. Latif Karim, Adegboyega Adekunle, Paul Obuko. Yes, I hope I have not more that name. We thank you for your contribution. We thank Blessed One. We thank David A, Daddy H. We thank Ijinle TV. We thank you all, David Okafor. Say thank you to you. But also, I want to also crave our indulgence to please let's not cyberbully ourselves. Everybody has right to their opinion. Everybody has right to say whatever they want to say. But this platform will not tolerate abuse. This platform will not tolerate cyberbullying of any kind. We are all mature individuals and we should respect one another. And as the saying goes, respect is reciprocal. Sorry of that language. My tongue shifts most times when I want to say that. But we should respect ourselves. We are mature people, and it is not a platform where we come with lies. It is not a platform where we come with a lot of information that we do not have facts on. I'll use the opportunity to say bye for now on Bystanders at Newsstand. My name is Kolade Folari Kadesh Prince. We'll see you tomorrow, same time. Bye for now.